Hi, friends. It's Mrs. Clark here. Can you believe it? We are going to talk about feelings again. So, before we read our book, we want to make sure our ears are listening, our eyes are watching, our voices are quiet, and you guessed it, our body is calm. So, it's an amazing story called Ruby Finds a Worry. But first, let's look at some pictures that might look like worried, okay? This face right here, this face right here could look like worried. This face right here could look like worried. And here is our How Do You Feel chart. And families, you can find this on consciousdiscipline.com. It's a really, really important, necessary website. And it's also called Loving Guidance, which I really think conscious discipline sounds important, but loving guidance sounds even more kind and special. But friends, worried could also look like this. Another name for it is anxious, right? So this amazing story was written by a man named Tom Percival. And I'm guessing that he not only wrote the words, so that makes him an author, but I think he's also an illustrator because I only see one name down at the bottom. So I'm guessing he is an illustrator and an author. Wow. Kiss your brain, Tom Percival. So it's called Ruby Finds a Worry. There she is. And do you see who's next to her? What's that? Well, I'll tell you. That yellow circle, squiggly, with two eyes and one eyebrow is her worry. All right, let's read about it. This is the first picture. It's a very interesting drawing. They look like they are at the beach, right? Look at the next page next to it. I think we guessed right. Okay. Ruby loved being Ruby. Ah, well, that's amazing. Ruby loved being Ruby. She loved to swing up high. Ooh, I should probably invite my friend Max to read with us, right? Right, families? Because I said that sometimes using a little prop or a favorite toy can get our kiddos more interested in reading, okay? I'm going to use Max. So she loved to swing up high. I love to swing up high too. And she loved to explore wild, faraway places. Oh, I love that word explore. Do you know what that means? It means to travel, to see things that you've never seen before. Doesn't that sound exciting? Sometimes she even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Ruby was perfectly happy until one day she discovered a worry. There it is, right there. It wasn't a very big worry, right? She discovered a worry. Discover, that means she found something. She found out that she had a worry. In fact, it was so small that at first Ruby hardly noticed it. But then the worry started to grow. Ooh, how does Ruby look here? She looks pretty annoyed, right? She looks pretty annoyed right there because she noticed that her worry is starting to grow. Each day it got a little bigger. Do you see how it's grown so far, friends? Look how small it was on this page, and now it's gotten bigger. What will happen next? It just wouldn't leave her alone, that worry. It was there at breakfast, staring at her over the cereal box, and it was still there at night when she brushed her teeth. That worry would not leave her alone. The funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry, not even her teacher. So Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. Friends, what does it mean to pretend? Right? It means that it's a game or a fantasy, or you act out something that's not the case. So she is pretending that she can't see her worry because her teacher can't see her worry. So she's going to pretend that it's not there. I wonder if that's helpful or hurtful to pretend that a worry isn't there. She tried to carry on as if everything was normal, but it just wasn't. The worry was always there, stopping her from doing the things that she loved. Ooh, that worry's making me mad now. That worry is making me mad because the worry is stopping her from doing something that she loves. She loves to swing. I love to swing. Oh, I'd be so sad and mad if something was stopping me from doing something that I loved. What will Ruby do? Well, Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? Ruby didn't realize it, but she was doing the worst thing that you can ever do with a worry. She was worrying about it. Excuse me. Now the worry was enormous. Do you know what that means, friends? Enormous means very, very, very large. It was enormous. Another word for that is gargantuan. It's my favorite word. I love to say it. Gargantuan. So this worry was enormous. It could barely fit in the kitchen at dinner time. It filled up half the school bus. Oh no, this is so extreme, friends. That worry is very big. And it took up the whole rows at the movie theater, and the worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about. And it seemed like she would never feel happy again. Oh no. Now I'm worried. Then one day, something unexpected happened. Unexpected? That means it's not normal, right? Unexpected. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park. He looked how she felt. Sad. And then she noticed something else, something hovering next to him. Could it be? Could it be a worry? Oh, his worry is a different color than hers. Let's look. Let's look at the boy. Do you ever feel like this, friends? Look at Ruby. She's very concerned for him, isn't she? Hovering. Did you hear the word hovering like I did? Hovering. His worry was hovering next to him. Do you know what that means? That means that worry is staying in one place in the air over him all the time, hovering. It was. Ruby realized that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. She asked the boy what was on his mind. And as he told her the strangest thing happened, his worry began to shrink. Oh, look at these two chatting on the bench. Look at those amazing pictures that Tom Percival drew. I'm hoping I'm giving him credit where credit is due. So the two started talking to each other, and the worries started to shrink. What does that mean? What does it mean to shrink? It means you get smaller and smaller and smaller. Then Ruby did the best thing that you can ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it. And as the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there at all. Soon both of their worries were gone. What? Why were they gone? And they were shrinking? And now their worries were gone? I don't understand. How can a worry be there 1 minute and now it's gone? Because they talked about it. Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. Look at them, Max. Look at Ruby and look at her friend. Of course, that wasn't the last time she ever had a worry. Everyone gets them from time to time, but now that she knew how to get rid of them, they never hung around for long, right? So they were never hovering over her for long. Oh, Ruby, thank you for sharing that. I'll tell you what, everybody has a worry. Everybody. Grown-ups, kids, teenagers, right? And Ruby had a worry, and she told you how to make that worry shrink, right? So that it's so small. What did she do? Do you remember? That's right. Kiss your brain, friend. She talked about it. She noticed somebody else had a worry and she talked about it, right? So talking about our feelings is helpful. Not talking about our feelings and our worries is hurtful. It hurts our body and it hurts our mind, our brain, right? It hurts your heart. So you need to talk about your worries, right? You need to talk to them. Talk to a friend. You talk to a grandparent. Talk to your teacher, right? And then that big worry, that gargantuan worry begins to shrink, become so small, right? Well, thank you for listening to my book on Ruby Finds a Worry. All right, see you later, alligator. Bye, friends.